Hey, what's up, guys? Corin back with another debate. I'll be debating a buddy of mine named Simple Star, aka Simple Moon. He's going to be repping Mewtwo from the manga and the video games. And I'm going to be repping Beerus the Destroyer from the manga and anime of Dragon Ball Super. We're going to be equalizing stats. And without further ado, Simple Star is going to start off with his first win con.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
yo, can you all hear me?
Yeah. So go over your first win con.
Okay, so I'm gonna argue that Mewtwo will passively fight the laws of causality and make Beerus. I'm gonna like drop the scan and I'm gonna like explain everything. Yo, you there?
Yeah.
Wait, let me get back.
I'm here.
Yo, you there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so did you hear what I argued?
Yeah, you're gonna manipulate the law of causality.
Yeah, to like make Beerus lose. Uh I'm gonna drop that skin. My voice is shaky, bro. Zone 1, right?
Yeah.
I I hope y'all can see these. Uh Now what I'm gonna explain right now is there's been missions where trainers have manipulated like uh the loss of how do you say that word
Causality.
to like manipulate like their victory over like other like gym leaders and train. um there's also like statements from like people with like literal like pre that they can see into the futures even 3 years before the fight even started, and even change uh the laws so they could win, but yet still lost to like the Pokemon. And there's also like a statement from Olympia that stated that trainers write their own uh like futures. Um all How this does this apply to Mewtwo? Well, Mew is a clone of Mew who has like the genes and like DNA of like every single Pokemon. So I'm gonna argue that Mewtwo has, and yeah, that's my first win con. That's how I explain the my first win con.
Okay. Well, I would simply ask, would it be in character for you two to use this at the start of the fight?
I mean, like it's like multiple like like already do it like passive. Like it wouldn't like really change the fact he can still do it.
Yeah, other Pokemon, but I'd like to. I'm saying, has Mewtwo directly shown he could do this, though? Has he ever manipulated
I
the
mean,
causality?
like like I explained though, like I wouldn't really uh I already explained how like Mew has like, the genes of Pokemon like Gold, and if you see in the scan there, this trainer fought like a normal like other trainer that had like normal Pokemons, like no legendaries whatsoever. And if normal Pokemons can do it, and if Mewtwo has like the genes of these Pokemon, then we can say that he can do it too because he's
Yeah.
legit. Now I'm gonna drop the scan of where it says like Mew has like all the genes from like all. Now me.
Yeah, and that's fine and
Also, I'm
all.
gonna drop. I'm gonna also drop like the how like the person tried to like precog, and like she also explained like having a vision of like like precog, that she had a vision for like the future.
That's fine and all, right? Even if like he could, quote, even if like we said he could, there's a difference between he could and would though. Like, would he automatically do this? Is the thing, huh?
I would argue like yes, because Pokemon, like I stated before, already like do like in like their normal fight. Um, and Mewtwo has like their genes, and
No,
like
I get that. I already get that. Like, I'm not denying you on that. I'm just saying, just because they do it, it seems a little fallacious. YouTube would be doing it when he's never shown it himself directly, though, like in combat.
I mean,
Because, like,
like what were you gonna say?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll give an example. It's like, say you take, this is just an example, but say you take like Kryptonians, say you take like Superman and how he matched like Darkseid's Omega beams, which are like conceptual, but then you take Supergirl and there are some incidents where she's been implied to be stronger than like a base Superman. Yeah, she hasn't shown to like counteract conceptual Omega beams, though. I wouldn't necessarily sit there and say just because she's like above them and has like his genes and stuff that she would automatically have conceptual properties like Superman would. Just too. I wouldn't say that because she's never directly shown it, for example. But
So
there's nothing to really
you're
say she would say it, though. That's the problem I would say here. Like, yeah, there's evidence to say he could do this, but there's nothing I would say to say he would do it, though.
um wait, like your argument is that like just like trying to
Yeah,
understand
there's
your argument here.
yeah, there's a difference. My
Yeah,
argument is just because we can say he possibly could, that doesn't mean he would, though. There's a big difference. Like, just like for example, with Supergirl and Superman, they're both of the same gene, but just because Superman can like conceptually counteract Darkseid's Omega beam, that doesn't mean we could, and it doesn't mean we could say like his whole race should be able to do that just because they share genetics and he like she's stronger than him or anything like that. That'd be fallacious because yes, she possibly could, but that doesn't mean she would be able to though. So we can't really assume that, especially if Mewtwo hasn't shown it in battle himself. I would say,
mm, and that's why I needed more skin. Uh, I guess like
I mean, we can leave it to the judges though. If you feel like you put up an argument, I don't want to like. I'm not trying to force you into something. I'm just saying I put out my counter though. Where I feel like there's a difference between could and would, and I feel like I gave a good analogy. But if you want to leave this point to the judges, I'd be fine with that. If they think you took it, if they think I took it, I don't care. Whatever.
uh so like, do you want to go ahead start with your um win con?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Uh,
Well, my first win con is going to be Beerus is going to actually use his martial arts skill and to, and he's going to just make him go limp and cut off his entire like organs and nervous system and make you just go limp where you can't move or process. And this is shown when he actually used pressure point techniques on all the Z fighters, even Piccolo. Piccolo has regenerative cells in his body too. And even his regeneration properties didn't prevent him from being like paralyzed and pressure pointed.
alright,
And
so
I'll show you that
your
clip.
next okay, so your next is like pressure points. That's your next argument. Yeah, your
That's
first
my
argument.
yeah.
Alright,
So I'm posting this. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So yeah, right here, all the Z fighters like attack him at once, and he just casually finesses them and uses his martial arts skills, having like a million years of experience in this training with pressure points, and he just casually pressure points all these experienced martial artists, and some of them even have like regeneration and healing factors like Boo and Piccolo. And yet he was still able to incapacitate all of them and knock them out and make them go limp. And these pressure points shut down your nervous system, your like organs, all that. So
Hmm. Uh, I'm gonna argue that Mewtwo would become intangible. So your physical like attacks wouldn't like hurt him. Like you can't like uh touch him. You know?
well, I would argue Beerus would be able to physically touch an intangible and being. This is because he would be, yeah, because he would be in the same ballpark as Jiren the Gray, who's heavily suppressed. And Jiren the Gray was able to actually, with his physical strike, block and interact with intangible attacks from hit. And I can show you that clip. And this is pure physical, if you want to see it.
All right.
So there's a fight with hit, and like he even hit shoots intangible attacks that were earlier seen phasing through solid objects and even phasing through like Goku in their rematch and his intangible attacks. And yet Jiren was able to block intangible attacks with his physical like hand, smacked it away. And people like Champa even isn't people like Champa, to back this up more, don't even view hit as a threat and says like he can use all his abilities on him. It won't even matter. And we know Beerus is comparable to Champa, possibly even stronger, to be fair.
Hmm. Uh. Okay.
Now, that being said, Beerus could physically interact with an intangible being, but I don't know how it would work out. I don't think he'd be able to like pressure your points as an intangible being. That'd be, I don't know. I'm just saying he would physically be able to like smack you away though, or like smack attacks away from intangible beings and stuff. He can interact with intangible beings regardless, is what I'm trying to prove.
Hmm. So you're saying that like Beerus will like hurt me, punch me, and kick me and all that?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, he should be able to at least. I mean, obviously, when you're intangible, it would be kind of weird to say like you would press somebody's pressure points,
Yeah.
but he should still be able to like smack you away as a whole, though. Like since he can interact with intangible like objects and beings, so I would say he should still be able to like smack you away with it. I still argued I did argue part martial arts skills, which is a part of his pressure points as well. So that would still be, yeah.
I'm gonna argue that really digging here. I'm gonna argue that Mewtwo will create force fields like to protect me.
Okay.
Let me drop that. Where is it? Wait, give me a second.
No, that's fine. While you're looking, I just want to ask you a question. Important.
Yeah.
Is these force fields going to be like energy based?
It's a like energy base.
Yeah, like psychic.
the force
Even
field?
though it's like, yeah, is it going to be like an energy? Is it going to be an energy?
I mean, it's kind of uh like with like his like because it's weird because it's like with his mind or like like because like he has that like against like physical like like attacks, like the one that's like he can activate, and then there's like another one that's like passive, or like how, like, for example, like when like Ash, he tried like Mewtwo, and then his fist got like stopped, and then he got like thrown away with like psychic, like in the movie. Remember the
Yeah.
movie for like the the Mew versus Mewtwo? Yeah. So like there's two types of shields. Like there's that one, and then I'm gonna argue the yeah, like the second one here, like, is like is kind of like weird how we like create simple, like, because like you could argue like just being like mind, like his telekinesis is like creating a shield. So
Yeah, because what I'm getting at is either one of those sounds still like,
dropping the scan for that.
yeah. Well, can I say something now?
Like either one. Yeah, you cut out for a second. What did you say?
I was saying, can I go on to say my counter now?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, I was saying both of these still sound like they're producing some form of energy, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like you still having to like produce energy to use these shields.
Mm.
So I'm going to say Beerus can just nullify your shields if you try to put them up. Just nullify it because he can nullify energy, as shown here.
I
So I better like nullify your shield back down, so where you can't even really do it.
like, can I go with like? I want to say.
What'd you want to say? Hello.
So I'm back.
So
It's just my Wi-Fi dropped again.
okay. So what'd you want to say?
Okay. Oh, I said, can I go to like another counter, or do you want to say?
Well, I guess that's my last point. I would just argue I would nullify your shield, and I would still like be able to kick you because I can hurt intangible beings. But like, if you just want to leave it up to the judges on that too, that's fine. Go on to your next win con.
So like okay. I'm gonna argue that Mewtwo is gonna like erase like all of Beerus's memories.
Erase his memories. Okay.
Erase his memory like a mind hack.
So you actually gotta like manipulate my mind to do this.
Yeah.
I'd argue Beerus would just push it out. He would resist it.
And
here's why.
okay, so okay, go.
The reason why is Ki has consistently been shown to be spiritual and mental in nature, and this is actually shown when Vegeta with his Ki pushed out mind manipulation when Babidi tried to manipulate him and like give him a completely different mindset as Majin Vegeta. And we also know even Toriyama himself states Ki as a concept in Dragon Ball is mental and spiritual and physical, all three. And as supporting evidence, Beerus in the games, this is supporting evidence because it is not contradicted, so I am using it. Beerus in the games resisted mind manipulation when Demigra tried to take over his mind. So right off the bat, I have three different things to support Beerus should be able to resist mind manipulation. Majin Vegeta, Ki is mental in nature, and Beerus has a direct feat of resisting it.
Okay. So like resistance against it?
Yeah, so when you try to penetrate my mind, I'm just gonna start resisting it, and you won't be able to erase my memories because I have too much resistance.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Argue what?
that Mewtwo will look at you and use and will basically nag like your resistal. Can you hear?
Yeah, can you repeat that? Because I can't hear what you said.
Hello?
Hello?
Uh, it's just the Wi-Fi keeps fucking me over. Um, so my argument is that Mewtwo will look at you using his miracle eye, um, and then he will like neg like your resistance, and you'll still be affected. Cause like there's a Pokemon that are like not affected by like mind hacks, but the ability Miracle Eye can like still make them affected by the mind hacks. I'm
Does
gonna post
Mewtwo?
that in like I'm gonna post that in like someone.
All right. Well, does Mewtwo ever use his ability?
Yeah, I'm try to. It even says there that Mewtwo uses it.
So this basically bypasses resistance to mind hack.
Yeah, actually, I could take it further, and it says it like bypasses even like immunity. So like even if you had like immunity to this ability, uh, you'll still get affected because like it passes for like a even immunity. So resistance uh wouldn't really be a problem because like immune to it, it'll like still affect you.
All right. I'll give you that. That's
I
good. That's actually pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
So
just
you're
he
gonna.
also just has to like stare at you, by the way. Like this is just with his eyes. Like he looks at you and then it just works. I
Yeah. I'll give you that then.
so do you want to go to your next WinCon
Yeah.
or I
My next win con is gonna be Beerus is going to use the Hakai and erase you on a
mm,
mental, spiritual, and physical level of existence. So I'm gonna erase your mind, body, and soul all from existence. You won't even
I'm
go to the
deprived.
afterlife.
Uh uh like it's just weird because like I have like Pokemon that have that ability, but like uh I really haven't seen like a resistance. I guess like what I'm gonna try to argue is I guess like invisibility and Mewtwo will like turn invisible, so like you won't able to like get a good lock on him. I'm gonna drop the scan for that right now.
All right. I'm just gonna be honest. Due to like Beerus's heightened senses, I'm just gonna argue he still sense where you're at and still get you
Mm.
because his sensory capabilities, like
I
even
I'm
with
I'm
it,
gonna still like I'm gonna still drop the scan though.
yeah, well, all right, well, like with his eyes closed, he was still able with like literally sense from all angles where these Z fighters are coming at, even with his eyes closed, still finesse them and chopstick their asses. And he has like
Uh,
sensory
like
capabilities that allow him to sense stuff from like galaxies over as well.
uh, let me like try to look for like a counter. Give me a sec. Oh, sup? Give me a second. I'm looking for like.
So just to refresh your memory, even if you turn invisible, I'm arguing Beerus would still be able to detect where you're at due to his sensory capabilities.
Aye, aye. I understood your point.
Yeah. And then he's going to continue to erase your mind, spirit, and body.
Uh, okay. So, uh, like, uh, I'm gonna argue that since his mind hacks are able to like affect, I'm gonna argue read Beerus's mind to like know where he's gonna like so he could like move out of the way.
Well, that's fine. Like, I'm just going to argue Beerus's body, like, he doesn't even have to think in order to move due to ultra instinct. So, therefore, he can fight without thinking, fight unpredictable. So, there's not going to be anything for you to really read. And that actually amps his speed up more, too, and gives him instinctive, like, reactions where he's going to instantly hit you before you think. Because his muscle memory, because he's automatically going to think about it. And I can show you the scans, too. And he does this to multiple
Yeah, sure.
opponents.
You can drop those.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You can drop those.
Like right here, he even has multiple other gods who are all comparable, possibly around equal with him in speed, and yet due to his like instinctive reactions and ultra instinct, he can instantly avoid them like simultaneously and like strike them instantly. So even if like you try to avoid, I'm gonna instantly know where to react due to my ultra instinct. And this also allows users to literally fight with a new type of fighting style and without thinking, relying on pure instinct alone. They don't have to think.
I um like I don't really have much for like the what was it like the Hakai?
Yeah. So I would say
I
after all this, Beerus is going to get past, and due to his instinctual movements, he's going to be able to get past you. Even if you like try to stay a step ahead with your mind reading, I'm still going to be like have that instinctual edge over you and still hit you.
mm, mm,
And I'll just erase you completely from existence.
mm, uh
So you can see that or what?
yeah, I'll concede to that.
All right. Well, you got another win con then?
I so my for my next win con, I'm gonna argue ceiling. Um, I'm gonna argue that he's gonna trap you in a telekinetic.
A telekinetic bubble.
Yeah, yeah, I know it's a weird. It's a weird.
No, that's actually
when
fine. Yeah. Let me
so
ask you
weird.
some questions though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some questions about this. So is this actually going to be, let me say this, is this actually sealing him or is this like
Mhm.
using is this using his telekinesis to try and bind him in this? It's kind of like
I
a
mean,
binding, it's kind of like binding him with his telekinesis in this bubble.
it's kind of like it can like it kind of is sealing because it can like trap you in like his bubbles.
Well, yeah, that's still, you can consider that a type of quote unquote sealing, but it sounds like he has to use telekinesis to try and immobilize you though into that position.
Yeah.
Because
So
if he has to use that from the get go, I would argue Beerus has resistance to telekinesis and being immobilized by telekinesis.
I mean, like, hmm,
And this is I can tell you why, because even in early Dragon Ball Z, Nappa, who's like fodder ass to Beerus in terms of ki, resisted Chaozu's telekinesis because it was ki. And like, yeah. So even so that's that is direct resistance in Dragon Ball from ki is resisting telekinesis. So I'd argue if it has to start off by using telekinesis to force him in this bubble and it's based off telekinesis, he has resisted telekinesis before. That's the thing. People like in this telekinesis was used to try and bind Nappa into one spot, and he still broke out of it
hmm,
and like keep him stuck and trapped in one. That's what telekinesis is. It like binds you and like it literally puts you and it keeps you like binded up in one spot, and you can like have your way with them, like throw them around with your telekinesis, like kind of like Tatsumaki from One Punch Man. But like,
yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. And since you're not more powerful than me or equal stats, these resistance be just fine.
Hmm. I you can move on to like your next win con.
All right. My next win con is kind of ironic. I'm going to argue I'm going to seal Mewtwo away with Beerus's sealing technique. And it works like he has to touch you, but basically he can put you in, like he can seal you away in an item. He's actually shown to do this. He actually sealed the Elder Supreme Kai into the Z sword, for example, with like his sealing technique. So I'm going to argue he's going to seal you into an item, keep you there, so you won't be able to do
I
nothing.
I have a question though. Like, does he have to touch me? Like, if you said yeah, like I didn't hear you before.
Yeah,
Does he have to?
I would assume he would have to touch you. Yeah, that would be the best bet to go with.
Mm,
I don't have any way to assume otherwise. So the best assumption, the least assumption, would be he would have to physically touch you to do it. But it's still It's still a sealing technique nonetheless. Like he's going to have to use like his key as a technique to seal you in this item. And like, here's the Elder Kai. Like, yeah, Beerus sealed me away like blatantly.
so he has to like touch.
For the sake of
Yeah.
argument, yeah,
Okay. My bad for like rephrasing. I just needed to
you're fine.
understand how it like would work. Um, I guess I'm gonna argue Mewtwo will teleport away the before you can like touch him.
Oh, he would teleport.
Yeah.
I'd argue Beerus has kept up with people in combat who's teleported directly in combat, like Goku using instant transmission on Beerus, and Beerus still predicted where he was going to go and countered him.
I mean, if you try like predicting me though, I'ma just argue that Mewtwo can like read your mind, so he'll just like be a step ahead in that regard of like you trying to predict.
Well, if
So,
that's the case, I'll just go back to my instinctive movement then, where I argued earlier, and that would be keep me a step ahead of you because it'll hit you before you think. Because my body moves faster than our minds can even think.
uh, mm,
Damn, we're playing patty cake today, bro. We're like clapping
yeah,
hands.
I
On
know.
this is fun.
Yeah. Damn. I was expecting it to be like a lace or some shit. I, I'll give you this one.
All right. Well, for me, that's my last. That was my last win con for Beerus for today. You got any more? Or that was like 3 each. So Y'all, you just want to go to conclusions or just go to judgment or what? I think we should just go to the judgment. Let them give their judgment on if you want. Unless you want to like go to another win con, it's up to you. I don't have any more though. For me.
I uh hmm. Uh does okay, can I go to a couple more win cons
Sure.
or I does he have a resistance to passive like life draining? Like he drains your
Yeah, because
you
actually,
there?
Demigra.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Sorry, you cut out for me. What did you say?
So passive life draining. How's he gonna like? Has Mewtwo ever shown this himself?
Let me try to get it. Give me a second.
All right.
The Lorax saved the tree.
Oh yeah, we're in the middle of this.
Yeah, Simple's muted.
Yeah, mute.
Simple's muted. Basically, what happened right now. Coughing. Stash just lost a few members.
Simple, you there?
Yeah, I'm gonna take back that point. Um, like like I actually found that it wasn't passive. So my bad
okay.
on that. Yeah, my bad on that. I guess like does he have a resistance to like being put to
He'd honestly probably welcome that, to be honest. But
what?
Beerus is, to be honest with you, Beerus would probably welcome being put to sleep. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
Bruh.
No, he's a lazy fuck.
Well,
No, okay. No, I mean like for real. Like, I really can't think of an instance that I could think of where like a Dragon Ball character has necessarily resisted like sleep hacks necessarily. Like, the only thing I could, and plus, like again, while that was kind of a joke, it is true. Like, his character is known for being lazy and taking long ass naps. I just want to point that out. But I don't really have like, that's weird. Like, how would he perform the sleep hacks? First of all, jokes aside.
like he can do it with his because he can do it like a couple of ways. He can like look and then you fall asleep. He can raise his hand and then it'll like put you to or he can use like this ability. I forgot the name of it, but like little little like energy balls like fly around, put you to sleep. You can do like multiple ways.
Well, for the energy part, I honestly, I'd nullify them. But like, if you have other ways to do it, then there's that. If you try to shoot energies around me, I'm just going to nullify that. But like for the other thing,
yeah,
all I could simply say is it really comes down to who gets the first hit in. Because while I don't have a direct resistance, you still conceded that Ultra Instinct's a factor, so he could use his instantaneous movement to like hit you before you had a time to react. But like, so with that, we can just leave that to, it's kind of a who hits who kind of first thing for that. Because I would argue since he has an instinctual reactions, he'd be able to like hit you with a pressure point or like Hakai or whatever before you like put him to sleep. But if you was able to put him to sleep, I'm not going to deny, yeah, that would work for sure. But that's all I got to say about that.
You want to go to conclusions now, if you want?
Yeah, sure. Instead of conclusions, we can just go.
Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
Oh yeah, I'll go ahead and start. Actually, yeah. So in conclusion, I would say I countered the causality manip. I brought up a good analogy and reason why. Yeah, he possibly could, right? He could possibly use it, but that doesn't mean he would necessarily. There's also other stuff I didn't get to question, but we kind of moved on and left it to the judges. But I would feel like for the causality manip, I didn't see much evidence why Mewtwo would necessarily use it himself starting off, and he hasn't shown enough evidence really. So I would say just because he has these genes, cool, he could possibly use it, right? But I gave a good analogy on why he more than likely wouldn't use it because there's a difference. Now, obviously, the judges can take it from there. So for the second point, like I did resist at first. I was trying to argue, resistance to like mind hacks, and he did get a good job. I'll admit, I gave him the point because he actually had a technique that bypasses resistances to mind hacks and stuff. So good on that. That was really good. I countered the telekinesis part pretty easily, I would say. Now, the Hakai, we went back and forth on that. He had a lot of ways to try to get around it, but I also came back with ways to get around those ways to get around it. So it's kind of a weird thing. And ultimately, I feel like the Hakai is going to kill him, erase him. And he already admitted, yeah, if it hits, it's over. So, and I argued with the instinctual movement, that would allow him to do it a lot better and more effectively. And that allowed him to stay one step of the game ahead of the game. Since they're equal in speed, the instinctual dodge hacks and movements will keep definitely keep him a step ahead, I'm trying to say. And what else? Other than that, in conclusion, I would and the ceiling too. Yeah, he did say, I believe he said I took the ceiling point, but we did like kind of go back and forth on that for a while. So overall, I would say Beerus is a cop would be the main factor, and he would have ways to get around and like stay a step ahead without using like stuff that we agreed not to use regardless. He has other ways to keep up, and obviously his skill would be a factor. So yeah, I would say overall Beerus would edge out, and he would have ways to get around a lot of his stuff, except maybe one or two things. So that's my conclusion. Beerus should be taking it more often than not. But what do you think? What's your conclusion?
All right. So my conclusion is that first for like the I'm bad at pronouncing cash. My English is not that good. How do you say
Causality.
Causal. That word. So basically, I argued like past for that like like that part, like that's all I'll argue for that part. As for like the other win cons, I would say that one of the most I feel like one of the most able to like take out Beerus would be like the sleep. Because if you recall, I said it like multiple ways. He did counter like the one that was like energy based. And like he could argue against like the like racing my hand and stuff. Well, one I would argue would work would be where he just looks at you, which is more passive. Basically passive. Like he just has to look, and you'll be asleep. And yeah. As for that, I also he gave me the point on like memory, like erasure. Like I would just erase his mind because I had the miracle eye, which counter like resistance and immunity. I would argue those, and yeah, I did get countered in like a bunch of the other points, and we did orphan point. I would just argue in this conclusion that like I had like more like to like take out Beerus. That's for my conclusion.
All right. So Forrest, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay.
All right.
So, in terms of like win cons, this was pretty interesting. This was kind of close, I must say. So again, with the causality argument, I do have to agree with Corin. Like, yes, like Mewtwo does have it, but you'd have to like prove like would like Mewtwo use this. So unfortunately, I'll have to go inconclusive on that. So I couldn't give you that because that's going to conclusive. For Corin's win con with the pressure points, Corin did provide some good counters for the Mewtwo going intangible or performing an energy shield. Of course, mentioning with the whole being able to interact with like intangible attacks from hit and obviously the energy null. So I'd have to give that to Corin. He did provide a good argument for that and evidence. The mind wipe, like goddamn simple. This was pretty interesting. I liked that you introduced the mind's eye, which pretty much ignores resistances. So that was a pretty good one. The mind hacks would work because you'd bypass Beerus's resistance to like mind manip. This was really like trolly. So you both use sealing. That was quite hilarious. Couldn't give you the sealing, I'm afraid, simple, because Corin did prove that obviously he had ways to deal with the sealing. Now it wouldn't work. The driving factor, I would say, for Corin was mainly just the whole Ultra Instinct argument, like who could tag who, and obviously this was what was pretty much giving Simple a lot of trouble, I'm afraid. So yeah, I had to give that. I couldn't give that point to Simple. The ceiling point, I know Simple did provide a counter, but again, Corin O'Keefe did prove that heightened senses and of course the instinct, like his little Ultra Instinct, he would be able to keep up and uninevitably seal Mewtwo away. And then of course the Hawkeye. I know Simple didn't really have like the best counter, but a counter nonetheless. A counter's a counter. He did provide like the whole invincibility counter, but Corin O'Keefe, of course, countered with that with the the heightened senses, and obviously, like you're not going to get away from Beerus, so Beerus would still be able to tag him. So I have to give that point to Corin. And then the Sleet one, this one was kind of hard. I was going back and forth on this one because Corin did counter one of them. I think it was like, did you say something about energy balls being thrown or energy? Yeah, like again, the power null. The power null would just like Beerus would just be like, nope, neg that. And what was the other method as well?
Oh, was like he could just like look at you and stick his hand out.
Oh, like passive, like.
Yeah, one tree. Like the one was like where he feels like energy around you and like puts you to sleep. The other one was like raising his hand and like pointing at you. And then the last one was just like looking at
you. All right. So I'm gonna go off the mode. So Corin did counter like basically 2 out of 3 ways that you could put him to sleep. Of course, with the net energy null, pretty much stopping the two forms of sleep manip. And I would have given you the point if like they weren't energy based. But unfortunately, Corin, like more often than not, as I said with the mode, he did counter it like 2 times out of 3. So I couldn't give you that sleep point, I'm afraid, simple. But overall, I have to give this to Corin O'Keefe. This was a pretty good one.
All right. Thanks, man. That's a good judgment. Phoenix, you want to go?
No, I'm fine.
Unity, you want to say yours?
Not really.
Well, I'd like to have one more. What about
I'll
Infinite?
just say something. I'll just say something.
All right.
I guess. Honestly, I can't recall, except that mind control thing. I can't recall a single time that. Okay, really, I missed out a lot of things. Besides the mind control thing, I did not hear anything that suggested simple things counter the current hacks.
Okay.
This is what I heard.
All right. So, Infinite, you want to say yours? All right. Either way, I can't hear you. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure because this is a bit about what I think who I want, who want. I had to agree like what Forrest said.